day of the Lord, because that is Joel's message, the covering, the theme that covers his entire prophetic message is the day of the Lord. But his message underlying that, and you're going to see this in all three chapters, is judgment, repentance, and salvation. It's in there to some extent in every chapter, every part of his prophetic message. But chapter 1 is also the framework, it's the context for the rest of Joel's message. Disaster or judgment has come. And in this, chapter 2 and chapter 3, we'll see that judgment is coming. Disaster is coming, and it's worse than anything the land or the people have ever seen. And the Lord is the only one that we can cling to and call on in this day of trouble. This is Joel's message, and chapter 2 and 3 will have the same message. We'll see it in chapter 1 in the context of a locust plague, and 2 and 3 in the context of the day of the Lord. But he uses the locust plague of recent times to Joel and his immediate audience as the framework and backdrop for the future. In other words, consider how terrible these days are. Consider how hopeless these days are. Consider how devastated the land is today and how devastated the people are. Consider how bleak the future looks from here. But know that one day, when the day of the Lord comes, it will be far worse than this. These days will be cake compared to what is to come. And he doesn't just want, again, I'm going to emphasize this, religious rituals or outward demonstration. Church attendance, church membership does you nothing. A personal relationship with God, faith and trust in him is what counts. It's ongoing. It's fruitful. It bears fruit. A one-time act or repetitious just ritual without a relationship with God is meaningless. You know, how many people today are trusting in being baptized in water at one point, or at one point they came to an altar and recited a prayer that a person led them in? Those things are worthless if it's not born out of relationship. If that's not the beginning, that prayer is the introduction, it's the beginning. But if it's not followed up by an ongoing relationship with God and faith and trust, it's worthless. It's just a ritual. If you're trusting in a water baptism, which baptism is commanded by the Lord, but that is just an act, and there's no act, there's no work that saves us. That's why a prayer doesn't save you. It's him. An ongoing trust and faith in him, a walk with him, is what saves you. A life of faith, not a one-time act or work. And that message couldn't be more needed in a day like today.